welcome back, guys. We are here with another special guest for the Tackle Room, 2023 FishOMania champion, Matty Dawes. How we doing, Matty?
You all right?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. So, what's it feel like to be FishOMania champion?
Oh, mad. It didn't really sink in much, and then because it's been like a couple of weeks now, and I've been back to work and like people in work, I went back on it's Wednesday today.
Yeah.
I went back Monday night, and it was just everyone's talked about it. And I went back in yesterday, and I've seen people I haven't seen, and just everyone talked about it. It's good really, because they wouldn't think like a lot of people out go fish, or not. They're not interested in fishing, but all of a sudden they're like.
Yeah. Do you think the Sky Sports thing helps? Obviously.
Oh yeah, massive. That's why like Fisher and stuff to me one, isn't it?
Yeah,
the biggest competition as well.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So, for those of the watchers that don't know you, Matty, really, where are your sort of roots with obviously match fishing, commercial match fishing, and that sort of area?
Goes. I fished when I was a kid. So like, say for example, from the age I went when I was first 4, and I fished willy nilly. Like I went with my dad.
Yeah.
A little bit. Didn't really fish matches and just went willy nilly. Used to go to this little place by us. Down the road from us was like a little pit in the farmer's field. It wasn't nothing serious. Do you know what I mean? Not like you see some kids nowadays that are fishing like matches and they're into it at like 10, 11.
Yeah, exactly. And just your dad as well. Your dad's always been into sort of match fishing, hasn't he? So
yeah. So like a good level. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
He fished with. Anyway, got like an injury playing football, so I just thought I'd just go with it. I got a little bit more because I couldn't do anything at the weekend, so I started to go a little bit more. And then there was like 2 things. I think there was I think I was 14. There was a Western Junior match, and then there was like another one as well. And I won both of them, and I just think that was it then.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the winning, you just like got the taste for it and just kept going all the time then.
Exactly. So it's the competition background through football as well that probably influences that as well, mate.
Oh,
you see it. So, but yeah, you've just mentioned Weston. Then what's Weston been for you growing up? Obviously, I know for a fact it's quite a close place to your heart.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. Like the second one, Dad, Mike and Rach as well.
Yeah.
Everything that's like sort of happened in my life's happened there. Like it's weird because I worked there for a little bit. I've lived there twice for a little bit. I met my wife there. It's all little things like that, and it's just I don't know what it is. Just them places. That's it. Like when you go there, you just feel like you're at home.
And that's the thing that Mike and Rach have both got, isn't it? They've got a great business personality, and that's why people keep going back. Obviously, I keep going back. Christian keeps going back. You keep going back. There's a lot of anglers that do just keep going back there.
It's mad. It's not like when you turn up. I know you can turn up some places and it'd be a bit like, oh, I'm just gonna say it. For example, say you go to Herringbrook, it's just like you're there for the match, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it.
But you go to Weston, you're there for I might not see you for a while, then you're there. Then you see like Phil, Covo, and then you just start seeing people and you just enjoy it, don't you?
It's a social aspect on top of the competitiveness, isn't it? So I think it's one of them venues. And obviously the qualifier that you got through to this year's final as well.
Yeah. I'm mad.
Yeah.
I was having a bit of I think it was like 14 qualifiers. I didn't even frame, I don't think, in any of them.
Yeah.
And I only picked up in like 2 or 3, and I'm thinking this is just horrific. Like they are expensive. I know that they are expensive. Driving around the country it's a hard work, but anyway, going in, and then I was in the queue, and I wanted to be like in the middle sort of thing. I didn't want to leave it to the last minute again because I'm thinking, there'll be nothing left. And then as it ended up, I've dipped my nets and stuff, gone in the queue, and I'm by the door.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fall. And then all of a sudden they started drawing and people are walking out. So obviously they're gonna ask me what they think. So I'm just like, no, I'm like, there's nothing like it. Like I can hear what's going. It's like, God's sake. Kieran's wondered, oh, I'm on Jack's. What's that like? It's like, that'll be brilliant. I really fancy that lake, Jack's. Just because there's so many bites there, it's so good. You can catch like 80 to 90 pounds silvers.
Yeah.
And you don't need and if you're thinking it's the 120, 130 day, it's nothing really, is it? Went in the bag and I was like, I thought, right, I'm just gonna go for the one at the bottom. It was just like flat on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like a little pile, there's one just flat at the bottom sticking out. I went in, did that, and it's on the line. I push them open just so it's sincere before I pull it open.
Yeah.
And just the 16 canals, like, oh. Like, well, I do that. When there's a bit of pressure on that lake, that peg is phenomenal. Like, it's just
really
phenomenal.
Really is. And how did the day go, mate?
Oh, it's like, so there's like, people don't know Weston. There's like that arm on canal is like a little thing where you flick your rig across the far bank. You can't fish long pole because it's like 19 meters.
Yeah.
So you fish like 16.5 foot and flick it across and you can reach the rushes, but like the trees have come out a little bit now. So I was like, I set it up anyway. Started short of pellets. That was like the good old days. I'd like 20 pound in 30 minutes short, like never missed a bite, just caught like a lot bigger than some little stockies. So that's decent. And I went on the caster line, as you do, you tick over, have a few bites, and I'm like, right, I've got to catch some carp now. So I started like flicking this rig across. And I've caught nothing on it, like long line, like I caught like 4 carp. I thought, oh, that's not deep. And then all of a sudden, I noticed like Johnny Rouse up from me, like he didn't slap his rig, but he dropped it quite quick. I don't know how. I think he dropped it by accident and stuff.
Yeah.
Like dropped it and I picked up and he got one. And I thought, hang on a minute. I thought, I wonder if I catch it on a slapping rig. So I've got off my box, put my rig on, like 16-inch deep, 8mm pellet, just smacked it in front of these trees at 16 meters and just pulled me in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, and like they're massive, aren't they? On that,
yeah,
they're
like,
all
big fish.
6 to 10 pound, and then it's weird. I caught well on that. I caught like 50 pound in like 6 fish, and I'm like, oh, that's a good. And then the icing on the cake for me, I've slapped it in. I've hooked at that big grass carp.
Yeah,
and he's caught like a submarine. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose him. I'm gonna lose him. And he's just literally followed me back, netted him, and I thought, right, well, you know, you have them little feelings where you just think, nah, I wouldn't have got him in if I didn't.
Exactly.
Do well.
Exactly, mate. And what did you end up weighing to finish up, mate?
I think it was 198, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, which was obviously a big weight on the day, pressured as well.
They fished really, really well that day as well.
Yeah, and like people keep saying every year, I don't think there's been the same peg that's actually won at Weston for a qualifier, is there?
I think we had a spell where 25 was.
Yeah, it was dominating.
Not on a fish show, but on the other ones, I think I can remember. Yeah, I'm in a fish show. I think it's a different peg every time.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's probably been a different lake as well. I think there's only been a few where it has been on the same lake. I think Stretton's won it twice, and if that's about it. But so qualified for the final, Westwood Lakes. What was the feeling before the final, mate? Going into it, obviously Falcon Lake. You qualified sort of in the middle, so it gave you a bit of time to practice.
Yeah, I think I went up. I don't know it well.
Yeah,
but I know it well enough. Do you know what I mean? I've been on it a few times. I know what it's like. Speak to like Chris Bennett, all them. They go on the festivals all the time. They always speak about it because it's so unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I went up practicing, and I was like, right, I'm going to do this for an hour. I'm going to do this for an hour. I'm going to do this for an hour, and just see. So I started on pellets. I had like 40 pound first hour.
Yeah.
Just kinder potting micros in on a top kit. Obviously, in fish, you fish a little bit further because the pressure of the nets and the banking stuff. Like, it just gives yourself. You could catch on the top kit maybe, but just giving yourself a chance to keep going. So then I fished up and down. It was like I couldn't catch them shallow. Caught a few on the bottom, and then I was like, right, I'll drop in the edge now. Last hour is brilliant. I thought, wow, I bagged there. I could see no one. I thought, be sound, and they all bagged. And I'm like, right, I'm not coming here and doing this. I thought, I'm not coming to the venue and just pretending that I'm doing the right thing because I'm trying stuff. I thought, I'm going to fish out a fish. Like, if I work out something or I do it properly and then capture them, I'm thinking, I'm just going to do that. So the next time I went, I drew the peg 23.
Yeah.
And then I was next to Powers, and then I got a bit caught out. I was like, oh, I don't really want to show what I'm trying to learn. But I thought, you know what? What's the point? Like, we're all good enough to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no secrets, is there? That's the thing.
No,
It's
there
like,
isn't anymore.
No, there's no secrets. So I thought, right, it was just fish for the last half of the match. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And it just twigged it from there. And then what I did that day is, and I know that Peg 23 quite well because I sat behind Powers last year.
Yeah.
There's like a little flat spot on the top kit. And the biggest thing I learned that day was I threw some maggots in, and like, because they sit quite shallow there, they sit like 12 to 9 inches deep and stuff. I'd chuck my maggots in and I'd see them come back up and rise further out, obviously because I swirled them around. So I thought, I know what's going on here. I thought, I know exactly what's happening. When I throw my bait in, because I need to keep it dead tight, just puffing it up and moving it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought, right. And I cut big potty casters across them barbel because someone told me that big potting's better. You don't want to catty anything. So a big pot dropped in and it caught like 6 and 6 chucks. And I've looked at Power and he went, come off that. Because obviously he knew how good that was. So then I thought, right, well, I can't do anything. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try just firing some casters down the middle, not just like 30 to 40 twice, a big amount, and just sit there.
Yeah.
And just sit and wait. And it's done it and it's been bang on. And that's when it's like twigged that like they don't really like eat pellets well. They don't.
Yeah.
Maggots are good when it's rubbish, and then when it's really, really good, casters are better. They eat them, so they're a lot easier to catch, and you can find your bait a lot easier. Like big stand-up baits, 3 and 4 maggots.
Yeah.
Big bit of worm, and sometimes double caster is good, but it's a bit annoying when it comes off. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a bit like that method on clay pit then, where you're actually potting casters or dead maggots on a top kit.
Yeah.
Just getting the bait down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's like, obviously we're going through a bit in the final. Even Sam, it was like, what are you doing? I said, watch this. I said, watch this. It's this. It's like, just, I think the confidence of knowing your bait's right is massive.
Gives
like,
you
when you feed that bait, they're going to eat it.
Yeah.
Not second guessing yourself. That's the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And right, we'll go on to the final. Obviously, we had a redraw, but the redraw put you back on peg 14, mate. So, what was your feelings about the peg? Obviously, I saw you the night of the draw, and you were quite happy. So,
yeah, it's weird because my van's engine light come on the way, and it was quite like it was a bit of a rush, wasn't it? Because like it was 4:30.
Yeah.
So. Got there. I think I got there like 4:15.
Yeah.
So like my head's thinking, oh, my light in my van, but and I think we go in the draw, and then I didn't even know it started the draw because we were all outside, wasn't we? And it walked in, it was like 19. I thought, who's on that? And it's like Chris. I was like, oh, that's a nice little area for him.
Yeah.
Then I was like, right, well, then 20 went, and I was like, like I thought, that's a little area I fancied there.
Yeah.
And then, like, obviously, 1 and 2 went. No, 2 was still there. 1 went. 25 went. I think 1 went just in front of me.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, there's nothing left. I thought in my head, there's nothing left now. I just went in the bag, and like my head's all over the place and stuff. It went in the bag, 14. I'm like, that's all right. That's in the middle of that straight. And then I'm like, hang on a minute, that's peg 15. That I thought.
Yeah.
Like, and then when we went there. Walked, obviously, you have a little walk round, don't you? Walk round, and the way the wind was, it was coming down that straight, and people were like, oh, it's the same wind tomorrow. And I'm like, it's not, it's turning. I know it's going to turn. So I was like, all right, fair enough. And I did think, oh yeah, and the way the field went, no one was on like, no one really knows, do they? So no one was like on a standout while they're just going to win. That's what I like about Westwood. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
You sit down. You've got like a really, really good chance from anywhere. I know, obviously, as the day pans out, it doesn't get that, but at least you're going into the match thinking I can do well here.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I rocked up in the morning, like I thought I was on time, but everyone was set up. But it was 8 o'clock, so
yeah.
and everyone was set up. I thought, am I late here? Anyway, set up, and it was like the wind just coming down. If you draw a picture of a peg, it just looked perfect. wind's coming down, stopping. It's just all flat in front, some fish topping, bubbling. And it was weird. I started setting up. I never finished anything until really Stam got there. I don't know why. I just wanted to confirm it. And I'm plumbing up, and it's like bum 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 bum. It's like there's a lot here. I'm thinking there's a lot here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, look, it's going to be good. This hopefully, like, and then obviously the edge was like 15-inch deep. The middle was deep enough for shallow.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's weird. The fish were in the track early, but they're only in the track shallow. Now in practice, they've been on the bottom, which is odd, but I don't know. It's one of them things. That's what that lake's like.
Exactly.
And then I plumbed up across like 30 meters off the bank, about 2 foot off the bank, and it's just flat. That's why I fish there. That's why everyone asks me. That's why I fish just flat, so it's nice and easy. Obviously, they might dig the peg out because of the silt.
Yeah.
But you used to have a long line to cover that. But yeah, that's where I fish. So I plumbed up. Was like right, that it just looked perfect.
Yeah. And so start of the match, mate. What happened? Obviously, first half hour, big way in to start with, mate.
Yeah, the maddest thing was as well, I missed a few chances. I was quite nervous at the start.
Yeah.
And like obviously, because when you don't feed, when I was plumbing up, there's like a post in the water, and when I was plumbing up, I'm not near it.
Yeah.
Because obviously everything's tight, and then
it
was like when I was trying to put my rig in, I had to put it in a weird way because of this post.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get going with that, and then all of a sudden it's like this burst, and it was swirling, and I was like, well, there's a lot of fish coming in here, Sam, and obviously just playing away. That's how we caught him early. That was in my tactic plan. I thought, right, Sam. But 9 kilo, but I think it was just a little bit sharper. I think it's a nerve. You can't help that.
Yeah,
a little bit sharper. You're talking like 11, 12 kilo at some start, that.
Yeah.
And if you have some carp as well, you can fly. But yeah, it was just good little start as well.
And then obviously, sort of, it didn't peter out for you the next couple of weigh-ins, but you kept rotating them lines. I know you've spoke about it previously and other things about how important the rotation was.
Yeah, it's weird. I couldn't really remember it, what I did, because the only thing I remember is that edge early and me across line being so good. Yeah. But I forgot I caught some down the middle shallow and stuff, and like did that for a bit and then dropped on the bottom, caught a couple. Do you know what I mean? I forgot I did all that, and then I was like watched it a bit back the other day, and it was like, oh right, yeah, I did do that. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's massive. Just trying to. It's not one of them venues where like, not a cart venue, is it? So you can't just like, well, I'm just gonna sit there and I'll get my chance, and it'll be £8. There's a lot of buyers, a lot of mouths, and they do a lot of different things. So like, obviously in practice, I ain't really caught much shallow, but I know how to catch them on there. You have to slack your rig a lot, or you fish, just leave rig still, set depth, just stay there, don't move around. It's not like normal shallow fishing where you tweak it an inch or two and you get one. It's just they're not on your peg because it's so shallow. They come in and out from the side of thing. So that was key. Like obviously I caught 14 kilo on that edge in an hour. Yeah. And then I dropped on the bottom. I got a lot of liners. I think I caught in the mouth and I fouled at one. So I thought I've got to go shallow. So I went shallow. Caught an odd fish doing that. That was steady. And then I think it just faded a little bit, and I just thought, right, I'm gonna have a look across. I was potting on my line every half an hour or so. Yeah. Just like a few casters. I think like 50 mil casters. And like a couple of maggots, just keep potting it, and then obviously when that fizzled out, just pushed across line, and it's just it was weird how good that was.
And I think that was the turning point. Obviously you got John Alexander next to you as well, that had fished shallow from the start and was sort of keeping up with you from the start, and to see him actually putting deck rigs out was, I know it sounds a bit thingy, but it is quite strange to see John turn himself to that game, and I think you forced him to do that.
He fishes like, that's what I'm going to do. This is it, like that. Like it's a really, really positive way of fishing, but he wins a lot of stuff. So like, he's obviously going to have confidence in doing it. I'm like, I do fish like that, but I'm a lot better when it's like I can nick a fish.
That's it.
I just feel when it's go. I don't know why. I just feel like I just nick one. But then when you get the chance, like being nice and fast and accurate and just making sure you're on it is the right time. I think I said to Sam, think I caught a few across, and I'm like, right, I've just got to do this for a little bit now. I'm just shipping in and out all the time. Like, even if you miss a bite, it's like, right, start again. Foul up one, you think, well, pull them up, check your depth, like little things like that. But like you say, I don't think you can be like Westwood, be too positive on one line. I just think it's all right when you get a bit of space, but not in them pressure matches. I just think.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. So going a bit further on in the match, looking at the sort of final hour, mate. There was anglers obviously round you catching up, having big sort of half hours. What was your thought then? Was Sam obviously bank runner Sam Slockett in your ear telling you, or did he just leave you to it?
It's weird. It's a weird thing, this, because people obviously like, oh, was you nervous last like half an hour or so? But they forget I had the earpiece on.
Yep.
Which that, if I didn't have that on, I think I'd have fell apart, because I think Sam said something. He was like, he's got like 9 kilos. I said, Sam, he's just weighed 3-1. I've said, I've heard it. Like I know they make it a show, but it's like that talk. And he looked at his phone. I said to him, I said, stop looking at your phone. I said, I can hear what's going on. I said,
yeah.
And he's like, right. Well, he said, well, I think I had 2 fish in my last net, obviously, because obviously when I was weighing in, I've caught a couple throughout the day.
Yeah.
You don't want to be swapping over your nets. So just thought, I'll just leave that in there. There's only 2 in there. And then it come through. So like obviously I had that big weight, and it come through. I had like 6 kilo lead, and I'm like, well, thinking, right, well, I've got a carp and an F1 in there. That's 2.5 kilo. So I thought, right, I've got an 8.5 kilo lead in theory.
Yeah.
So like that, Marvin is caught 11 kilo in one way, and I thought that's been the highest I've heard. So I thought, right, well, if I catch 3 fish now, that's what Sam said to me. He said, if you catch 3 fish, mate, you'll win.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, okay. And they couldn't really catch them up. I didn't know. People said the cameraman walking up and down. It's one of them that's part of it, isn't it?
Part of the day.
You
it's
can't.
Part of the day. Yeah.
I didn't notice it. To be fair, because I was just trying to catch 3.
Yeah.
So I've gone across, nailed one across, and I'm like, right. And I think I caught another one in the edge, and I said, right, I just got to sit here for the last thingy. And then obviously I watched it back, and it's quite nerve wracking, really, when that one comes off.
Yeah.
And it's like, it come off. It's foul up. It'll definitely foul up. Come off. I'm like, just put my pot together, put it back in it. And like, I was all right, because I knew the fish were coming in. This is what the difference is. People can't see the swirls, and like, I think I got that in the zone. I'm thinking, right, well, it takes about a minute for one to come in.
That's it.
So I'm like, I'll get another one. Just like, I just went back there, and I think it was in my own little world, which is
exactly. And me being on your section as well, mate. When you lost that fish, it is quite nerve-wracking, because you can't see what is going on, mate. It's one of them things, like you say, you don't see the swirls, you don't know what's going on with that rig in the water, do you?
No.
So
yeah, it was a bit thingy when everyone gasped.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I saw your dad behind you putting his hands in his head and stuff that. I was like, oh no. But yeah, finished the match, mate. 52 kilos, 875. And it was enough for the win. How long did it take for it to actually sink in and stuff like that?
Probably like 2 weeks.
So about now. So just a little bit
just
ago.
Last Saturday, because obviously I went to Lindome Festival, then we did the kids' day, then I went fishing for a bit with my dad in the week. Just had a little bit of like a chill, and I was like sat down on Saturday like, whoa. Like
exactly, it's happened.
Yeah,
it's happened.
Just mad though, isn't it? You chase it for so long, and like I can't really believe it now. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
and that's what I was going to go on to, mate. What does it mean to you?
Obviously the money is brilliant. Like it helps like life out, especially at the minute with all like stuff like that. But it's, don't get me wrong, they're both like good in different ways. Like the money's good for a good hit, like it lets you like chill out, but do what I think you want. But it's just winning that. It's like you can push on, can't you? It's
exactly, mate. Exactly.
I think it's a confidence thing looking at fishing as well, because I sit down now. I think I did it at Lindome Festival.
Yeah.
And like I drew with Lee Oil, who's on 74, which is really good pegging, good angler there. Someone else on 14. I've just sat down thinking, I'll beat these. Just thought,
exactly, mate.
Without sounding, you're not being cocky.
You're not.
It's just I got that much confidence in what I'm doing. Obviously, you get beat sometimes. Like I did it at Tunnel. Like I thought, right, I'll win it, and obviously I didn't. But I fish matches a bit different now. Of like just
it's one of the things I picked up on, mate. Obviously, you fished the Lindome Festival after the final this time. Christian fished it obviously the year before, and you both had amazing results in that Lindome Festival. Yeah. That confidence that must drive that is ridiculous.
And like, you don't set up stupid stuff.
No.
You just set up what you think you need. It's like, it's just so positive. Like, and if you doubt yourself a little bit, I don't think you do it, but it's just a weird.
I've had a bit of a spell like that in a minute with my matches. Not even getting 30 minutes of pole out, mate, and just sitting on lines because you know for a fact it's going to happen. And it's really good for that to happen, isn't it, mate? It's just confidence. Yeah. It's just confidence. Yeah, another one. I spoke really. I spoke to Jamie after the match. Obviously, he was fishing at the same time, and he was actually getting quite emotional about it. What is yours and Jamie's relationship? Obviously, it meant a hell of a lot to him. Obviously, seeing you winning it.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than people like think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I speak to him like 3 or 4 times a week. Like I've travelled with him a lot, and like I've done it for years though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a relationship, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. I think he was like that because he knew, like, obviously what it'd do for me in the background. Like, obviously I speak to him and like, I said, I can't justify as my missus spending 200, 250 a weekend if you have a double qualifier weekend. Just to say I won my section. I'm like, how do it, especially at the minute with stuff going up and that, you think, I said, and then all of a sudden it's like, it seems like you're moaning, and then you obviously win. It's like, you just, I'm not bothered now. It's like I can push on and do more. But like with Jamie, I think he's seen me like obviously coming through. So when I was younger, because obviously we live all around this area, and he lives like 20 minutes away from me. And yeah, it's just, I think he understood how much it mean. That's what.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And another one, obviously, family, your dad. I know your dad supported you from the start. Really big into his match fishing as well, Mal. What was his reaction? Obviously, I know on the day he was a bit starstruck and everything like that. And then obviously he probably settled down a bit now.
Yeah, he said he was going to punch me the other day because I caught one on his box after the match where he couldn't catch one. So he's back to normal now.
Oh, that's good then.
But no, it's mad because obviously he sees, like, he calls me mad for what I do.
Yeah.
And like, he's like had a bit of an insight into it. So like, he come to Lane to me on the Thursday.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why are you driving 2 hours?" I'm like, "Well, I need all my bait." Like,
yeah, exactly.
And he's come with me, and he's like, and then he's come to qualifiers and stuff, and he's seen. It's just like, he just knows it's a lot of commitment, isn't it? To just do it, but it's worth it if you put it in the end. I've probably done it for like 10 or 12, 10, 11 years maybe.
Yeah.
And just, I never thought it'd happen, to be honest, but
it has now, mate. It has now.
Mad.
But yeah, that's obviously great chat there, mate. Just got 2 more questions to end, more of a generic sort of question. One bit of advice you'd give to any up-and-coming young anglers at the minute wanting to win FishOMania, being on that commercial scene?
I'd say enjoy it. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
If you start letting it bother you, you start trying to want it too much, like, just focus on getting stuff right, learning, experience. Watch a few, I think it was Will's podcast the other day he did with Winning Ways, and it was like, he spoke about experiences more than anything. And I've got a lot now. Like, I'm only 29, but I've probably got like 12 years of it.
Yeah.
Of like doing these qualified and like seeing like, right, well, if I just catch that way, I've got to fish that way, I've got to fish a certain way. You learn your venues a little bit, learn your trade, and it'll come. Yeah. Just enjoy it though. Just enjoy like asking people, "Oh, have you caught?" And don't think because you've done like 10 qualifiers in a year, you should think, "Oh, I deserve a place in the final." It's like, don't think that. I just think, right, I need to learn this little method and learn all the methods, and when I get on enough fish, I'll win. That's what. And just enjoy it though. That's what.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say.
Yeah, and like you say, Will said that in a podcast with us just a few weeks ago. It's all about development, isn't it? It's not rushing into anything. It's actually keeping your head and learning on the way.
Yeah.
So it's really good to hear so many anglers say exactly the same thing, because it is proof that works.
The only thing you can't buy in it experience.
Yeah,
you can't buy any. It's the only thing you can buy. The best stuff, you can have the best bait, you can have everything. But if you sat down and not really seen it before, and people have, then
you
can be a little bit disadvantaged to just learn off it.
Correct, mate. And last question: is there any other angling trust competition you want to win, or do you want to do FishO again?
Do you know what? I had a bit of thing with when I fish. Don't really do team fishing now, but when I fished with General Northwest when I was a bit younger, I think we missed out by a commercial national medal by like 2 points.
Yeah.
So I'd like something like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've got a gold in that. I think I've become second in the junior team. I think it's your team actually.
That's it. Yeah, it would have been, mate.
I think maybe that one, and then I'm going to go weird with the other one. I would love to have a go at that Bonington Classic.
Yeah.
Just because it's like something different, like you're out there, it's a bit.
Exactly, mate. I've seen Boddington the past 2 years, obviously working with the AT, and it is one hell of a phenomenal venue, mate. And
yeah, it looks like a bit that or like a gold national medal.
Yeah. But again, well done. Thanks for being on,
Matty.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time, guys.
Cheers.